Upon first studying great-tailed grackles, the first thing that caught my attention was a rough-out display commonly performed, especially during the breeding season. This behavior caught my attention mainly because I noticed it predominantly in males. In fact, in the few females I did see, I didn't observe them performing this behavior at all. This rough-out display as shown here is when the male erects its plumage and extends its feathers in a V or fan shape. This stance is often but not always followed by vocalization and is sometimes followed by other behaviors such as beak up, strutting forward, or extending its wings, which all mean a different thing in this primitive yet effective language. In this video, I will use Nico Tinbergen's 4 levels of analysis to explain the causation, development, evolution, and function of this behavior. The feathers are able to erect themselves using the sympathetic nervous system to fire unstriated muscle that either erect or depress the feathers. According to Langley in 1903, the depressor muscles are typically larger than the erector muscles, which would make sense given that most of the time the feathers on these birds are in a depressed state. Most of the time, the rough-out feathers erecting behavior is accompanied by a vocalization known as a rough-out squeak. This rough-out squeak develops slowly in the young. During the summer, juveniles will congregate and feed around other grackles, during which time they will perform an activity which, according to Ficken in 1963, may be an ontogenic precursor to this rough-out display. During this time, the male juveniles will erect their contour feathers and blink their nictitating membrane, or inner eyelid, but will not yet have a vocal component. A close relative to the great-tailed grackle, the boat-tailed grackle, boasts a similar rough-out behavior. There are some differences, however. For example, as noted by Solander and Giller in 1961, when a great-tailed grackle is in the low-intensity rough-out display, his posture will be forward, his contour feathers will be erect, his bill open and wings relaxed, even drooping a bit behind its back. In a higher intensity display, this male will open his wings in a horizontal posture and flutter them slightly or even hold them still. The boat-tailed grackle has a similar display, however, in a high-intensity display, the boat-tailed grackle will extend his wings vertically behind his back and flutter them violently. There are a couple of reasons why a great-tailed grackle might perform a rough-out display. For example, when a male grackle is performing a rough-out display as a precopulatory signal, he will do what is referred to by Wiley in 1976 as a head-down display, where the contour feathers are erect, wings are spread and horizontal, tail is spread into a V-shaped cross-section, head is flexed downward, and constriction of pupil, all followed by song as shown here. If the display is for another male, he will perform what Wiley in 1976 described as a bill-up display, where the males will do just about everything in a head-down display, but instead will hold their bills up and open and may lunge at another male. This usually results in the other male moving away. With respect to Richard Dawkins' selfish gene theory, these grackles want their and only their genes to proliferate. Consequently, the species has evolved this behavior as a means of sending a dishonest signal to rivaling males and also to soliciting females. A good analogy I like to think of in humans is a male flexing his muscles. Not only can this show other males to back off, I'm more buff than you and could probably kick your butt, but also show females that I'm sexier and that you should mate with me because I have better genes.